Fox News alert, we just got our hands on a trove of new evidence in the Charlie Kirk murder. Text messages between the shooter and his trans boyfriend, the secret note that was destroyed, and a confession. Tyler Robinson making his first court appearance just moments ago on Zoom and wearing a suicide watch smock.
Notice conviction of this offense may carry the death penalty or pursuant to Utah Code 76.3-207.7, a mandatory term of imprisonment for life without parole or an indeterminate term of not less than 25 years that may be for life.
Earlier today, the Utah County Attorney's Office announced they were charging an emotionless Robinson with 7 counts, including aggravated murder, obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and they're seeking the death penalty. Death by firing squad is on the table. Prosecutors say this was a political hit.
The state is further alleging aggravating factors on counts 1 and 2 because the defendant is believed to have targeted Charlie Kirk based on Charlie Kirk's political expression and did so knowing that children were present and would witness the homicide.
Officials say they interviewed Robinson's trans lover and got their hands on a secret note that the shooter left under his keyboard the morning of the assassination, and text messages between the two when Robinson was on the run. Robinson texting his trans boyfriend saying, "Drop what you're doing, look under my keyboard." Underneath was a note that said, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm gonna take it." The shooter told his boyfriend to destroy the note, but police were able to recover it. Then Robinson confessed.
You weren't the one who did it, right? Robinson, I'm sorry. Roommate, I thought they caught the person. Robinson, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude. Roommate, why? Robinson, why did I do it? Roommate, yeah. Robinson, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. How long have you been planning this? Robinson, a bit over a week.
That's motive and intent. Robinson texted his trans roomie saying, "I'd hoped to keep this secret until I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you." Charlie's killer thought he was going to just go home and no one would find him. He wasn't that worried about getting caught. He was more worried about his father noticing his grandpa's gun was missing.
I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the F will I explain losing it to my old man? Remember how I was engraving bullets? The F in messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notice bulge UWU on Fox News, I might have a stroke, all right. I'm going to have to leave it. That really effing sucks.
So what else did the roommate know? And when did he know it? And who else knew what? The FBI says Robinson may have had co-conspirators.
Who else may have been on that thread, what they may have known. Is that fair to say?
It's a lot more than that, and we're running them all down.
It's a lot more than 20?
Yes, sir.
Cash says they're following every lead, and the FBI is currently investigating leftist groups in Utah to see if there's a conspiracy. In the last year, Robinson became radicalized after moving in with his trans boyfriend.
Robinson's mother explained that over the last year or so, Robinson had become more political and had started to lean more to the left, becoming more pro-gay and trans rights oriented. She stated that Robinson began to date his roommate, a biological male who was transitioning genders. This resulted in several discussions with family members, but especially between Robinson and his father, who have very different political views.
Now, the media has been telling us Robinson's conservative just because his parents were Republican. You don't always have your parents' politics. Look at me. Even though his family, his friends, his text messages pinned him as a progressive, and the anti-fascist catchphrases on his shell casings and his trans boyfriend. But Jasmine Crockett is still in denial.
The reality is that the average person on the left probably couldn't make a shot from 200 yards because they haven't been playing with assault rifles since they were a little kid.
He couldn't be liberal because liberals are bad shots. That's what they're telling you. Now, if Crockett would read, she'd know Robinson accused Charlie of hate speech and killed him for it. And we got angry when we read the messages. ABC called them romantic.
It was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate who was transitioning, calling him my love, and I want to protect you, my love.
ABC's touched by text messages between an assassin and his trans roommate. Disney is tickled by the intimacy of a killer telling his trans roommate how to orchestrate a cover-up. This isn't a love story. This is a cold-blooded murderer obstructing justice. ABC wasn't this touched when Charlie's widow wept in front of the nation. And the far left is acting like Charlie had it coming.
If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term.
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear.
That guy's name's Destiny, and he just learned his fate. He's fired and banned from making any more money on his site. You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when you go to events? CNN is defending this guy.
We can't punish people for disagreeing with us. We can't punish people for being jerks and celebrating the death of someone. That's not illegal, and that shouldn't be who we are.
She's right. It's not illegal to say Charlie deserved to die and you're glad he did. They have a right to say that, but we have a right to fire you. You can't walk into the office and say you're into homicide. You can't work at CNN and tweet, I'm comfortable with cold-blooded murder. More people need to be killed. Speech is free, but you're not free from the consequences. If you're glad Charlie's dead and thought he had it coming, I'm supposed to sit next to you in the break room? You're going to teach my kid at school or serve in government? And I'm supposed to just say, free speech. You're advertising that you're a maniac and that you have no decency, compassion, or humanity, that you're indifferent to death. And not just indifferent, you're sickly gleeful. That makes you a threat. That makes you dangerous. It makes you a beast. And what do we do with beasts? We leave them out in the wild. We have to be very careful about the kind of people we associate with. They aren't entitled to work for us. And these people, sadly, are everywhere.
Charlie Kirk committed suicide is what he did. He knew it was coming. Charlie Kirk did a great thing for humanity. He stopped that bullet before it hit a human being.
That bullet connected with Trump. How would you have felt if it had connected with more than just his ear?
I wish that shooter would have been in Butner, Pennsylvania, instead of getting Charlie Kirk.
This is more than just a disagreement over the border or crime or politics. We're talking about murder. Would CNN be okay if their producer said, that girl that got raped, she had it coming? Of course not. Or the Ukrainian refugee stabbed to death on a train, Irina, deserved to die. Those floods in Texas, that's karma. Hope you can swim. Never. And we're not saying these people should be put in prison. We're saying they're not walking into my office. I'm not letting them hang around my family. I don't want to be anywhere near them. This college student in Texas barged into a Charlie Kirk vigil and acted out the bullying ripping through his throat.
Oh, buddy.
Texas State University just expelled that clown. It's a state school, and taxpayers should never have to fund that ghoul's education. He's a sociopath. And if he didn't learn his lesson today, in a few years, I guarantee he'll be preying on some innocent victim or victims. So we're not advocating jail time. We're recommending social purgatory. until he repents and means it. Society's already treating the cancer. A councilman in Florida got caught celebrating Charlie's death, and now he's facing the will of the people.
Your days are numbered.
You're rolling your eyes. It's disgraceful, man. You have brought a horrible name to this community.
I have a recall petition. If you're really going to make the whole village go through this, it's going to be done. We have 40% of this village that's going to do it. Walk away with respect. Do what's right.
I hope you find God and your final judgment day is better than today.
A country that supports assassinations is a country hurtling towards civil war. It's the very thirst for assassination and the fact that it's tolerated that's leading to more attempts. Charlie wasn't president. He wasn't a member of an extremist group. He was a mainstream Republican. He was on Fox. He had a hit podcast. He was my friend. They killed my friend. But above all, Charlie was a dad. He was a husband. Here he is telling his daughter how he met his mom.
Storytelling. So we're here at Bill's Burgers in New York City. And right near this very table was the first time Dada met Mama. And it started as a job interview. And I was asking all these questions. Philosophy, religion, Jesus. And then I realized Mama was beautiful and smart and elegant and Christ-like. And so I said, forget this job interview. I want to date you. And I said, I have enough friends. And that's where your journey started.
Charlie wanted more than anything for Americans to fall in love and get married and have families and draw themselves closer to God. There's nothing more American than that. There's nothing more human than that. Anyone who defiles a human life or advocates innocent lives to end violently is an animal. And we don't break bread with animals.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to find out how.